Hello again. Did you come back? I certainly hope so. Look, real life, real talk, real people. This is AskABee. Welcome in, welcome home. The place where real people bring real letters and we meet every story with truth and tenderness and a whole lot of courage. Every day we sit down together and open the kind of letters most folks just bury really deep. The quiet hurts, the heavy feelings, the questions you've carried alone for far too long. And here, you don't have to whisper. Here, your story has room to breathe. I'm not here to judge you. I'm certainly not here to fix you. But I am here to walk with you. So if you're tuning in today, take a deep breath. You're not late. You're not broken. And you're definitely not alone. This is where we untangle life one honest letter at a time. Now, before we get into our letters, I just want to remind you, pardon me, we do have the Ladies' Diary tonight. I have another panel of amazing, wonderful women, and I just can't wait to get to that tonight. But let me tell you, I'm really, really excited. Oh, my plus sister is here. Look. I love you. Thank you, honey. I'm so glad to see you. We need to talk about getting you up on the panel for Ladies' Diary, too. I need my plus sisters, both of you, up there with me, okay? And as I was saying, the Ladies' Diary is this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. If you're in Texas, Tulsa time like me. Oh, come on. I'll talk you into it sooner or later. But look, I do have my shirt on. We're Twinkies. Okay, I think I better get into the first letter now. Hopefully I'll get to see you guys tonight. Now, I've gone back to my uplifting letters because yesterday they felt right. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. This one kind of hit home too. You know, I feel like I do have a little bit of something, just something that I find a common ground with each one of these letters. So hopefully we can get a good answer for this one too. Okay, let's see here. All right. Okay, here's the letter B. I'm 37 years old, and 2 weeks ago, I heard something come out of my mouth that shook me to my core. My mother's voice. Not literally her, but her tone, her reaction, her sharpness, all of it came out of me while I was talking to my 6-year-old daughter. It wasn't even a big situation. My daughter was having a meltdown over something small, big emotions, tired, overwhelmed, and instead of getting down on her level or breathing through it, I snapped. I said, "Stop crying, you're fine." And the second those words left my mouth, I felt this wave of shame hit me so hard it made me nauseous. Yeah, I've been there. Because that was actually what my mother used to say to me. My childhood wasn't abusive, but it wasn't gentle. It was a household where feelings were an inconvenience, where crying meant you were dramatic, where asking for comfort meant you were too sensitive. My mom wasn't a bad person. She was exhausted and trying her best with the tools she had. But her reactions were sharp, fast, and unpredictable. I spent so much of my childhood trying to avoid setting her off. I swore I would never sound like that. I would be soft, and I also swore I would be patient. But now I feel those same reactive patterns creeping into my parenting. It's like I go from calm to irritated in half a second, and afterward, I sit alone feeling guilty, wondering why this part of her lives so strongly in me. I don't want my daughter growing up tiptoeing around my moods. I don't want her to remember my tone more than she remembers my love. Agreed. But the reactions happen so fast, they feel automatic, like they're wired into me. It scares me truly. How do I break a cycle that feels like it's in my bones? How do I stop this before it becomes her childhood story the way it became mine? Signed, scared to repeat history. Pardon me. My goodness, what a letter. Well, first off, baby, what you were describing is one of the most universal, heartbreaking, and transformative moments a mother can have. That moment where you hear your childhood echo through your own voice, it's terrifying, but it confronts you with a truth you weren't prepared for. That what raised you lives inside you more deeply than you ever thought. But let me say something with love and clarity right here at the start. You did not fail. You awakened. Okay? Listen. Cycles don't break because we're perfect. Okay? Cycles break because we notice them. That moment where you snapped, that moment where shame hit your stomach like a brick, and the moment where you sat there thinking, oh no, I sound like her. Baby, that was the beginning of generational healing. Understand that. Let's slow it down just a little bit and walk through it just a little. Because what you're facing is layered, emotional, psychological, generational, and neurological. Okay. And every piece of it matters. Every single little bitty piece. You weren't raised with gentleness, so you're having to build it from scratch. Okay. Your mother wasn't cruel, she was limited. She didn't have the tools for softness because no one modeled softness for her. She parented in survival mode, short temper, quick reactions, rushed corrections, emotional shutdown. Okay. You inherited her wiring, but not her intentions. And now you're trying to rewire yourself while raising a child at the same time. That is holy and difficult, messy work. You're doing something your lineage has never seen before, mothering consciously. Okay? Your reactions aren't you, they're your nervous system repeating what it learned at age 6. When your daughter cried, something in you didn't respond, it reacted. That automatic tightening, that short, sharp tone, that stop crying impulse, that was your childhood speaking before your adulthood could intervene. Okay? But here's the miracle. Your adulthood did intervene. The second you felt that wave of shame, that internal pullback, okay? That moment you went still and thought, I don't want to be this. That was your higher self stepping in. Absolutely. Healing doesn't start with doing better. It starts with realizing you want to do better. You got to take these one day at a time, one step at a time. Hi, Walt. Good to see ya. I'm so glad y'all are here. Thank you. Okay, now let's get back. I want you to know you're afraid not of becoming your mother, but oh, hi, Poetic. Oh, so good to see you, honey. Okay, you're afraid not of becoming your mother, but of repeating the pain you felt. Okay. Thank you, honey. Love you. Please be careful. You're not actually afraid of her habits. You're afraid of recreating your younger self's experiences. That 6-year-old version of you remembers feeling misunderstood or dismissed or feeling too much, and feeling like love depended on behavior. You're protecting your daughter from the childhood you had. And because you're conscious of that, you're already changing the story. And that's what it's all about, right? Your daughter isn't counting your mistakes. She's experiencing your love. Kids don't remember the isolated, sharp moments. They remember the tone of the home. They remember whether apologizing was modeled or whether they felt safe to cry. They remember if repair existed after rupture. Okay? Your mother never circled back, but you will. And that one difference alone rewrites an entire generation. You just started a whole new line. And that's all for you. Soak that up because you did that. Now, breaking the cycle does not mean never snapping, okay? It means repairing after you do. Let me make this clear too. Cycle breaking isn't about perfection. It's about interruption and the correction, okay? Every time you say, Mommy shouldn't have said it like that, let me try again, you're teaching her emotional vocabulary, emotional safety, what healthy adults do, and that feelings are allowed. That love doesn't disappear when things get overwhelming. Your childhood didn't give you that, but you're giving it to her. You can retrain your responses. And here, look, let me give you a few tips on this one, okay? I've been married for 34 years, 3 children, new grandbaby. This is all my experience and my opinion, okay? Take what you will from it. But this is the part where the healing gets practical. The 3-second pause, okay? Everybody tells you sometimes, take a deep breath. Pardon me, I'm talking so much. Okay. Before you respond to your daughter, put a hand on your chest or put it on your thigh. Take a single deep breath. Drop your shoulders. That small pause interrupts your wiring completely. It's like resetting the computer. Just one little push of the button, and there you go. You're okay. It takes a few minutes to get back up, but when it comes back up, it's running much better, right? Think about it. Name your emotion out loud. Say things like, Mommy is feeling overwhelmed. Kids are way smarter than we give them credit for. Say, I need a second to calm my voice. Let's take a breath together, okay? Hello, Mama Lions. I see you there. I'm so excited for this evening. Okay. So children mirror us. When you regulate, she learns regulation. Repair immediately. Don't save it for later. If you can think about it, the instant you think about it, do it. These children need consistency. That's the biggest part, okay? Even a few minutes later counts. I'm sorry I talked sharp. You didn't deserve that. That sentence creates emotional safety that lasts a lifetime, okay? And do me a favor. Do us all a favor. Give yourself grace, okay? I learned this one the hard way. You are healing while mothering. That's like trying to build a plane while you're flying it, and yet you're still in the sky. It works for a minute, okay? Your daughter will not remember you the way you remember your mother. She will remember that you cared, you tried, you apologized, you grew, and you loved her loudly. Your daughter doesn't need you to be perfect, honey. She needs you to be present. And you already are. That's obvious by your letter. The fears you have, they're all proof that you are not your mother. Your mother never questioned her tone, never examined her patterns. She never paused to reflect. You are living differently because you are thinking differently, okay? And here is the deepest truth. Your daughter will one day say, my mom was not perfect, but she loved me enough to try that hard. She loved me enough to grow. She loved me enough to be better than what she was raised with. that is how generational lines are rewritten. You aren't becoming your mother, honey. You're becoming the mother your mother never had the chance to be. Okay? Believe that. Now that I'm done with that one, I just want to say hello to everybody. I have 7 watchers in here. Yay. Thank you so much for showing up. Y'all, please be here for tonight because we are so excited. Me and Mama Lions are going to have the Ladies' Diary yet again. Yay. I'm so excited. And you guys, get your merch. Get your merch. Go check it out. I'm telling you, I left the link in the chat for you. You got to be there. I'm telling you. Wow. Yes. Thank you, Walt. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. That was quite a letter. I was a little afraid of reading that one, but you know what? I felt that one too. So it was definitely a good one. Patty, friend. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy to see you, honey. So good to see you. Thank you for coming. Wow. This is a good day for me. I want to let y'all know I reapplied today. Yay! Accomplishments on the way for my monetization. If you don't know, I was allowed to reapply today. Also, a few great things for me too. I just hit 950,000 views. Oh my goodness. Hi, Big Jack. Good to see you. I mean, y'all, 950,000 views for real. It's time to start trucking. Hi there. Yay. How cool. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you, Patty. Aw. Thank you, Mama Lions. I am excited. This has been a good day so far, and it's just getting better. I know tonight is going to be so much fun. And Mama Lions, I sent you an email. And when you get a chance, if you haven't already, would you get back at me? Just want to discuss a few things tonight before the show. Love y'all. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited, but I'll tell you, it's a lot of shorts. A ton of shorts. But hey, on the rise. Yay! I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being here, all of you. I think I'm going to move on to the next one. That letter took a little bit longer than the last, so or at least yesterday's. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am truly, truly blessed to have you all. All right. This one's a little difficult too, but we're gonna do our best to answer this and make somebody happy, I hope. One more drink of my water. You'll be proud of me. I'm drinking water. Not my normal Dr. Pepper. I'm trying to be good. Okay. This one's a little tough, but you'll be all right. Dear B, last year was the darkest, heaviest year I have ever lived through, and it felt like life hit me from every angle at the same time. It wasn't one bad thing. It was a series of losses that came so close together that I didn't have the strength to stand up one before the next one hit. First, I lost my job. The job I'd had for nearly 8 years. It wasn't just work. It was a routine, my social circle, the place where I felt competent and valued. Losing it felt like I was losing a piece of my identity. Then before I could even process that, my mother passed away. Oh, honey. She wasn't just my mom. It was the person I called when something funny happened. The person who could comfort me just by answering the phone, the person who held our family together. I wasn't prepared for that kind of grief. I don't think anyone can be. No, ma'am. Definitely not. After she died, it was like something inside me shut down. I didn't have the energy to pretend I was okay. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. I wasn't talking. I'd sit on the couch for hours. Is this fog where nothing felt real and everything felt heavy? I wasn't functioning. I wasn't existing. I can only imagine. My goodness, honey. And through all of that, my husband went silent. Not mean, not dismissive, just absent. He didn't ask how I was feeling. He didn't hug me. He didn't sit next to me or say, I'm here. He didn't encourage me to eat, get some air, or talk to someone. Oh, goodness. He would come home from work, say hello, turn on the TV, eat, scroll his phone, go to bed. Every day, like nothing had changed. He didn't step towards me emotionally, and he didn't have the strength to step, or I didn't have the strength to step towards him. So we both just lived our routines, except mine was collapse, and his was ignoring the collapse. At the time, I told myself he doesn't know what to do. Or maybe he thinks giving me space is helping. Or maybe he's scared of saying the wrong thing. But now that I'm slowly climbing back out of that hole, I'm realizing that I feel resentment. Quiet resentment. The kind that sits deep in the chest. It's not rage. It's not anger. It's more like grief about the person who was supposed to catch me, not even noticing I fell. I don't think he meant harm. I don't think he's a bad man. I think he just didn't know how to deal with a broken version of me. But the truth is, he wasn't there when I needed him most. And I don't know how to move past that. How do I rebuild trust with someone who was physically next to me but emotionally nowhere to be found? How do I tell him what his silence did to me without making him feel attacked? And what do I do with this fear that if something devastating happens again, he'll stay silent all over again? Signed, Quietly Resentful. Oh, honey, honey, honey. What a difficult time for you. I'm so sorry about that. But I think you're right. This was not like malicious or anything, okay? This right here was one of the heaviest kinds of heartbreak a woman can carry. Yes. Not the heartbreak of fighting, not the heartbreak of cheating or even betrayal. No. The heartbreak of being alone next to the person who promised to walk through life with you. Now, that is it's a quiet kind of pain, okay? A hollow kind of pain that really doesn't scream. It just sinks in and it stays there. Let me sit with you inside this for a moment, okay? And walk you through it slowly, because what you went through wasn't just loss, it was layered grief. You lost your job, identity loss, routine loss, the loss of your mother, which is, tectonic in a woman's world. When the person who birthed you leaves the earth, something fundamental inside you goes completely quiet. I know that now. I hate it, but I do. It shakes the internal foundation in a way that only people who lived it can understand. And in that moment, that deeply human moment of collapse, you needed someone to put their arm around you. Even if they didn't have the words, you needed someone to look at you and say, I see you breaking. You don't have to break alone. What you got instead was silence. I want to tell you something very important in the gentlest way possible, okay? Silence is not neutral. Silence is loud to someone who is hurting. Silence says, I don't know what to do, so I'll do nothing. I hope you get better soon because I don't know how to sit with this version of you. I'm uncomfortable with your grief, so I'm going to stay in my routine. He didn't do it to punish you. Certainly didn't do it to hurt you. But intention doesn't erase impact, okay? Let's break this down piece by piece. Men are not taught emotional caregiving. Many men grew up being told, be strong, don't cry, handle it yourself, don't be dramatic. And when a man isn't allowed to feel, he has no idea what to do when you feel, okay? Your collapse triggered his helplessness. Your grief triggered his panic. And your pain, it triggered his fix it or flee instinct, okay? And because he couldn't fix it, he froze. But here's the key. You didn't need him to fix it. You needed him to sit in it with you. And that is a skill he has likely never learned. You were grieving. He was waiting for you to snap out of it, bounce back, waiting for the normal to return. But grief doesn't work on a schedule. Grief rewrites a person. He wanted the version of you he understood, the steady one, the strong one, the predictable one, okay? But the version of you who lost your mother needed a partner who understood that grief is not an interruption. It is a transformation. You didn't feel abandoned. You felt invisible. There's a huge difference here. Abandonment is someone walking out. Invisibility is someone sitting right next to you and not seeing your pain. Okay? Invisibility hurts worse because you can't leave a room to escape it. It follows you in silence. Your husband's silence, it wasn't malicious though. It was felt. And it did change something inside you. Your resentment, it's not petty, it's trauma. Okay? It is the trauma of emotional absence. And the danger of quiet resentment is it doesn't announce itself. It accumulates quietly. It hardens slowly. And it comes out months or years later as distance and numbness or disconnection. You're not mad at him for not being perfect. You're hurt because the person you counted on most didn't notice you were drowning. How do you move forward with this, though? Okay? You tell the truth gently but honestly. Okay? Excuse me. Okay, but you don't need to go face first into this either. Okay? Don't start with, you failed me. You abandoned me. You weren't there. No, please don't do that. Instead, try this. Okay? Last year broke me in ways I didn't know how to describe. I didn't need you to fix anything. I needed you to see me. Your silence felt like loneliness, not support. I want us to understand each other better so that if life hits us again, we face it together instead of separately. Okay? You're inviting him into the story, not blaming him for the chapter. Okay? You can't blame. No blame. There's no blame. You can't rewire him overnight. Okay? And he can't do the same for you. It takes two to tango, people. And you knew about his emotions when you married him. Okay? His response will tell you everything, though. If he softens, if he leans in, if he says, I didn't know, but I want to do better, then you're healing something, aren't you? Not ending something. Of course, if he deflects, if he gets defensive and tells you you're overreacting, well, the problem is way deeper. Emotional avoidance, not ignorance, okay? How do you rebuild the trust? Small gestures, baby steps. Baby steps, not big declarations. Ask him to check in once a day. Send me a text. Let me know you love me. That's not so hard. Should have been doing that in the first place. But, share one feeling at a time, okay? Don't bombard him with everything. Some men take a little longer to process some stuff. And you just need to be honest without triggering his defenses, okay? Invite him to talk with you or sit with you. You don't even have to talk. Just sit in silence. Sit together. Breathe in the same air. Create emotional micro moments instead of heavy talks every time. Trust is rebuilt like stacking stones, one small piece at a time. Okay? Your fear about the future is real. And that's why this conversation matters. You're not afraid of the past. You're afraid of it repeating itself. Okay? This is not resentment. This is self-preservation. Now, let me tell you the truth you haven't said out loud first. You don't want a new husband. Okay? You want this husband to understand you. You want this man to grow with you. And you want this chapter to turn into something stronger, not something broken. And that can happen. Silence can be unlearned. Presence, come on, it can be taught. Emotional partnership can be built. But first, he has to know the cost of his silence. And maybe you deserve to be heard this time, okay? Y'all talk. Communication is key with anybody, any kind of relationship, marriage, your kids, shoot, your neighbors, okay? It all comes from conversation. And that's what we do. We have conversations, right? That's what we need to do more often. Absolutely. And I still have some very happy people here. I'm so glad that you're all here. Thank you. And thank you, Miss Patty, for Amen, Sister B. You're spot on. I know this is helping so many of us. I really hope it is. I do. You guys, I love you all. And if anything touches you, please let me know. Big Jack says it's hard to figure out how someone else will handle permanent loss. Amen to that. You never know until it happens. And that's the only way you're going to learn is through experience with most of these things. You can't put that in a book. You can write all day, this is what I did about my relationship, but it's not going to fix everybody. It's not. And as women, we truly need to remember how men are wired. And, I say my husband is not into details. And no, he's not. And you know what? That's my fault. Us women also need to learn that, through all these years that we've been together with these men, we've also rewired them in a way too. I remember when he and I first got together, I was doing everything I could to impress him, right? Cooking him these really good meals and, just everything. And there were things that he did for me then that he doesn't do for me now and vice versa. But it's because we know the gestures now are to show love, and we're already impressed. We already been together for 35 years. So, I take into consideration the fact that through the years, I have taken on all the emotional weight. I feel, and the way I was wired is I'm the woman. That's my job. Okay. Now, that may not be the case for Gen Z or A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. But Gen X, we were taught, handle it. You handle your business. You be quiet about it, but you do it. And, well, to me, I'll say this. My husband is not a mind reader. Okay? He's not a mind reader. even though there are times that I have to stop myself because I expect him to be. He's not a mind reader. And if your husband doesn't know, because in return for his silence, you're giving silence back, he doesn't know what to do. This is a totally new chapter for him. He's seen your strength, not your weakness. You haven't even seen this weakness. With all the things that happened at that time, not even you have seen this weakness. This is a new chapter for both of you. It's fresh water. And I mean, the last water was nice and blue, but this is murky, muddy water that you've got to get through. And you guys, come on. You've gone this far. You can get it. You can go through this. You can get out of the murky water and you can find your happiness again. It's never going to be the same. Life changes you with every step that you take. It's never going to be the same. But there is a better version of you. Every single day, there's another door that opens that moves you towards that better version of you. And when you get married, you become one. And you become that better version together. And that, I mean, that may be old-fashioned, but that's how I see it works. It truly is. You have to give and take together, not give it all while they take it all. Okay? Balance. It's got to be equal. Absolute balance. You both deserve that. You both deserve that. Okay? This is not a one-sided thing here. It takes two. All right. Let's see here. My goodness, we've only gotten through 2 letters today. I must have done better on my answers. All righty. So now that we've moved past that one, thank you so much for being here, everybody. I'm so happy to see you're in here. Oh, this one's going to be a little bit more difficult on me, but we're going to do this because we definitely need to. Okay? Absolutely, Big Jack. Stacked grief can very much be very difficult to overcome, especially in silence. But, you know, I have to say in regards to that last letter too, it sounded to me like there was silence on both sides, you know, and I don't think that's not going to make anything better. If you know enough to say, hey, maybe he doesn't know, then maybe you should tell him, you know, because he's not a mind reader and neither are you. And if all that is sitting inside your head and inside your heart and not out in the atmosphere where somebody else can know, hear, and feel that, how are you going to get out of that? You have to unstack the grief one step at a time, right? Absolutely. Another drink. Love my water. Okay. Now, here is letter number 3. I'm so happy all of you are here with me. I feel better reading to people. All righty. I'm the breadwinner, and he's getting comfortable. B. I'm writing this because I feel something shifting in my relationship, and I don't know if it's me seeing things clearly or me losing patience. When my boyfriend and I first got together, him making less money than me wasn't an issue. I've always been ambitious. I've always worked hard. I've always believed that success doesn't have to be equal to be shared. He made less, but he was driven. He had goals. He talked about the future like he was excited to build something with me, and I admired that. I admired his passion and his determination. But over the last year, something has changed. He still talks about his plans, but he doesn't do anything to move towards them. He talks about getting a better job eventually, also going back to school someday, about improving his credit when things calm down. but nothing ever actually happens. Meanwhile, I'm the one covering 80% of our expenses. I'm the one paying for dates. I'm the one making sure bills are on time. I'm the one budgeting. I'm the one planning our future, and he plays video games until 1 in the morning and sleeps in like he doesn't have a care in the world. Okay. At first, I told myself he was just burnt out. Then I told myself he needed time. Then I told myself not to nag, but because I didn't want to be that kind of partner. But the truth is, his lack of effort is starting to feel like a weight on my back. And here's the part that scares me. I don't mind providing. I love that I'm successful. I love that I can support myself. I love that I built my life without waiting for someone to save me. But I didn't sign up to be grown. To be a grown man's financial safety net. I didn't sign up to be the only one with ambition. I didn't sign up to carry both of our futures while he coasts on the comfort my hard work provides. I don't know if he's stuck or if he's gotten too comfortable. I don't want to throw away a good man. But I also don't want to wake up in 5 years and realize I've been dragging someone who got used to being carried. I think you're right there, Patty. Amen, Walt. Amen. How do I tell the difference between a man going through a rough patch and a man who sees my success as his permission to stop trying? Signed, not your ATM. Okay, honey. Oh, goodness. You're right, Patty. I think this one is going to be a rough one. I'm conflicted here. Let me take a deep breath with you because, what you're navigating is one of the most emotional, complex positions a woman can be in. You love him, you want the relationship to work, but you also want a partner, not a passenger. Now, there's a difference between providing someone with someone or providing for someone is what I'm trying to say. There's a difference between supporting a man through a hard season and supporting a man who has decided the season should last forever. Now, exactly, Big Jack. Exactly. My goodness. Big Jack says, good thing you are not married because you can get out, and boyfriend, the key. Amen to that. Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm all ready to go off on this one. Y'all forgive me. But we're going to peel this open like the onion that it is and take our time with it because the layers here are completely real. First, let's validate this. Okay. Your success is not the problem. Not by any means. A lot of women are taught directly or indirectly to shrink themselves so their partner doesn't feel small. Okay. You didn't shrink, you grew, and that is not something to apologize for. You being successful isn't emasculating. Okay. It's being a provider isn't disrespectful. Making money doesn't threaten a good man, okay? A good man looks at a successful woman and says, let me rise to meet you, all right? A man who feels threatened by your success is not underpaid. He's underdeveloped. Whew. Let me breathe through this one just a little bit. I'm trying to get my nerves up on this one, okay? Let's talk about the shift that you noticed, because that's the real concern here. In the beginning, he had drive and you said momentum, ideas, fire. Okay. Now he has comfort. Yes. Thank you. Big time. You got it, baby. You got it. And comfort is not a bad thing in a relationship unless it comes with complacency. Okay. Men fall into one of the three categories when dating a woman who out earns them. A motivated man. Okay. Your success inspires him. He steps up, he grows, he levels up. He loves that you win and wants to win with you. Okay. Then there's the insecure man. Y'all remember, this is just my opinion, okay? Don't shoot me, y'all. Walt, seriously. I love you, man. I ain't making you a sandwich today. Now, you know I love you all. Okay, let me get back to this. ADHD, y'all. Okay. For an insecure man, your success embarrasses him. He compares. He resents. He lashes out. He even tries to bring you down to feel equal. Okay? And then there's number 3, the comfortable man. Your success relaxes him. Not in a healthy way, in a dangerous way. He stops trying. He stops building. Stops planning because he realizes he doesn't have to. Your man isn't insecure. He's not sabotaging. He's not resentful. He's comfortable. And comfort is the silent killer of ambition. Now, oh, hello, Geek Boy. Good to see ya. Okay, the new version of him that you're seeing, that's a man experiencing passive dependence. Okay? Not malicious dependence, not gold digging or manipulative dependence. It's passive dependence. All right. It's the type where a man slowly shifts from, like, I want to contribute to, well, she got it, so whatever. And then even on to, maybe I don't really need to push myself, to why would I change anything? He didn't wake up one day and choose to get lazy. He slid into it comfortably, quietly, unintentionally. And that slide only happens when the woman is strong, capable, reliable, consistent, and self-motivated like you. Now, you became the foundation, and he put his feet up in it and on it. Okay. Let's talk about effort, because that is the real currency in a relationship. At least that's my opinion. This is not about money or income, not about who pays for what. The question is this: is he contributing effort? Effort can look like cooking, cleaning, planning dates, being emotionally supportive, working on himself, chasing goals, carrying the mental load, building something, growing. Money is not the only contribution, but effort is required for love to feel like partnership. Big Jack says money doesn't make a man any kind of way. It's the handling of the money that causes the problems. You're right. Yes, sir. You're right. So, money, effort is required for love to feel like a partnership. True. If a man contributes zero effort, even if he contributes zero money, the relationship becomes unbalanced. And an unbalanced relationship slowly turns into mother and son dynamics, which, baby, is exactly the energy you feel creeping in right now. Let's see, Walt says, showing you exactly who he is, and that's great. Unfortunately, sometimes information is what we ask for when we already know the answer and wish we didn't. That is true. I cannot deny that. That is true. Amen. I'm so glad well, I'm so glad you're here with your insight. I am. I am. I was actually even asking about you. I needed you yesterday, I think. Love you, man. All right. So, let's see if I can get myself back to this. Again, I keep getting distracted, you guys, but I want to make sure that everybody here has voice. If the roles were reversed, what's the answer? That's difficult. Since, we're all raised with the man is supposed to be the breadwinner, right? But that's a question for another day. I agree with you. There are good people out there and there are bad people. And I hate that she might be in this situation, but not all men are like this. Let me put that. Remove yourself from the equation and ask yourself, what advice would you give your son or daughter? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that would be, I'm sorry, I lost my thought on that one. The point that I was going to try to make was the absolute, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to read everything too. Yeah, but you're right, Walt. You're right. You're right. And I feel like maybe she's being a little blind too, and purposefully. Yes. Yes. So I guess getting back to that, I would say, you're probably. Oh, thank you, Big Jack. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I can't believe we're already through all this. This one's been a long one, hasn't it? You're to try and get back to it. You're asking the right question. Is he stuck or is he coasting? Right? Let me give you the clearest way to tell the difference. A man who is stuck talks very little, but what works quietly. Okay? Tries to improve things behind the scenes, feels embarrassed about not contributing, shows gratitude. He makes micro progress, compliments you, tries to grow. A man who's coasting talks a lot but does nothing, makes excuses disguised as plans, is comfortable with you covering the slack, sleeps in, stays distracted, avoids growth, lets you handle life, feels a little too calm, enjoys the lifestyle you're providing without matching your energy. Your man is not suffering from lack of opportunity. He's suffering from lack of urgency. Big difference. So how do you figure out how do you figure out which man you're actually with? You bring it up, not with anger, with clarity. Say something like this: I love you, but I'm starting to feel like the only one building our future. I need to know that you've got goals you're actually working towards, not just ideas. I don't want a partner who relaxes into my hard work. I want a partner who builds beside me. Then you watch his reaction. Okay? A good man will sit up, get uncomfortable, reflect, take accountability, make changes. Start small, but stay consistent. A comfortable man will get defensive, redirect, minimize, tell you you're overreacting, a little gaslighting in there too. Make excuses, do absolutely nothing. His response is the truth. His excuses are the truth. His actions or lack of actions are the truth. Men show you who they are very quickly when you challenge their comfort. Here's your deepest fear. The one you didn't say out loud, okay? You're afraid that if you keep going the way you're going, you'll end up with a man you mother instead of a partner. A man who expects your success to support his stagnation, becomes dead weight, grows comfortable draining you. And baby, that fear is valid, okay? Because you see the direction this could go if you stay quiet. That's why you're speaking up now. The truth, okay? The truth. Love can survive financial imbalance, but it cannot survive effort imbalance. You don't need him to match your income. You need him to match your effort. Okay? You need him to match your energy, your ambition, your hunger, your desire to build a life. You need someone who runs beside you, not someone who watches you run and says, "Damn, baby, you're doing a great job," while he sits there watching. Here's the final truth you need to hear. You can support a man. You can uplift a man. You can inspire a man, but you cannot carry a man. And men, it's the same for you. If the shoe were on the other foot, don't carry a wife. Make sure she's got ambition too, okay? If they don't rise now, they won't rise later. If they don't grow now, they won't grow later either. You know, when you have comfort, if you don't grow then, life gets real. What are you going to do? If he doesn't put effort in now, you will eventually outgrow him. Not because you stop loving him, but because you stop wanting to raise a grown adult. You deserve a man who sees, you deserve a man or woman who sees your success as motivation, not a mattress. You deserve partnership, ambition beside you, effort, and balance. If he rises, beautiful. If he doesn't, you already know the answer. Okay? Y'all be good. Because you know you love each other. Make it work. Now I'm going to get back over here. Housewife and been a solid profession for years. You know what? As long as we're doing it together, right? Yeah. All right, y'all. I want to thank you all for sitting here with me today. This has been an amazing show. I did read these and I did make some notes so that I could get straight back to a good answer for you. So I hope that I was able to answer these as good as I did, or as good as you needed. Just thank you for sitting with me today, and thank you for letting your heart have a place to land. Okay. If one of these letters really sounded like your own reflection, remember, your story isn't over and your pain isn't proof that you failed. It's proof that you're still growing. Okay. Every question you send in is a reminder that we're all just trying to find our way with the tools we've got. And baby, you're doing better than you think. All right. Thank you, Mama Lions. Now, until tomorrow's letters, take care of your mind, protect your peace, give yourself grace, and go and so freely give to everybody else too. This has been absolutely wonderful. And I think my favorite episode thus far. Hopefully you will show up tomorrow for yet another episode. And please do not forget to show up for the Ladies' Diary tonight. It's proved spectacular from the first get-go, okay? This has been AskABee, where the courage to be honest becomes the first step in becoming whole. And listen, support my whole family, please. Big Jack on Iron Sharpening Iron. And Mama Lions, she'll be here with me on the Ladies' Diary tonight. And the Coach's Corner comes Sunday. Y'all don't forget, please. Be there. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good one.